G'day, Ben from Melbourne here, and this is my belated contribution to that thread that was going around a little while ago. The 10 records that you go to the most, or 10 albums you listen to the most. Apparently, it's not meant to be the best records, but if you go into them all the time, they've got to be the best records to you, at least, I suppose. All Australian, of course. That's how we do it here. And of course, this is a pretty fair guess, I'd say. I was going to say educated guess, but I wouldn't go that far. Nothing like Steve from All the World's Stage. Very methodical approach. Has spreadsheets going all over the joint. Can tell you what minute of what day, what the weather was like, what his inside leg measurement was that day, what underwear he was wearing, you name it. It ended up being more like a look into the psyche of the great man's mind, more than anything. And it also kind of made music feel like accounting, but each to their own. Anyway, these are mine in rough chronological order because I can't put things from top to bottom. I would guess I seem to go for these a lot. And of course, I'm going to start with the cheat because it's going to be the Ugly Things compilations. And there's 3 of them. This is volume 1. This is all that great 60s Oz garage rock going on with, classics like The Missing Links, Black Diamonds, early deep cut easy beats on here, The Throb, The Creatures, great stuff. And of course, volume 2 there. This one's got a bit of Loved Ones, The Twilights, The Throb again, La-Di-Da's, Chance R&B, great New Zealand shed burning stompers, but we'll allow that through to the keeper because if they are the neighbours. And the third, that was the third, sorry, this is the second one. Got them out slightly out of order, but who cares? Of course, these are all on Raven Records. Yeah, this has got Purple Hearts, Atlantics on this one, Ray Columbus and the Art Collection. Bobby and Laurie, Derek's Accent, just can't go wrong. I grab these all the time when I need that garage rock fix. And now the next few are probably no surprises at all. Greatest band in the world with the best release ever. No arguments out there. The Saints, I'm Stranded. They're absolutely banging debut record. Yeah, what can you say? Ed Cooper, Chris Bailey. What a front pair of people combo. Backed beautifully by Ivor and Kim. Amazing band. Of course, this has got the single I'm Stranded, One Way Street, Wild About You. Little nod to these garage ones. Ugly Things, because that's a Missing Link song, of course. The great weird cover of Kissing Cousins, and finishing off with the Barnstorming. No, Shed Storming. We're in Australia here. Nights in Venice. What a killer album. Next up, and not too far behind, Radio Birdman's debut album, Radio Appears. Killer record. This one obviously got that more Detroit influenced sound of the MC5 and the Stooges, of course, and all those good things. Dennis Tech, obviously transplanted from Detroit to Sydney in the 70s, studying to be a doctor, I believe, and a kick-ass guitarist. Yeah, this has got, Do the Pop, New Race. On this version, Aloha Steve and Dano, so this is the international one. Murder City Nights, just killer record. Next up, we move into the 80s with probably my most listened to Beast record, Sour Mash, with the original lineup there of James, Boris, Kim, Sexy Tex, and of course the sadly departed Spencer P. Jones. Hard work, driver man, hard for you, watch your step. These are the good old days, the hate inside, pig, driver man. This old shit, just can't go wrong with this country punk stew of awesome rock and roll. Now, slight change of pace once we get into the 90s with that so indie rock band Sandpit. This is actually a compilation of their first 2 EPs, but I'm gonna show this so that I can show vinyl, because at the time they were just the 2 separate CD EPs, which are amazing. This is probably the easiest way of picking them up, called The Hunting Picture, and I love, the track Tractor Beam, K-Flex, and then on the second side, which was the second EP, was Drawing Straws and X-10, killer record. This is on Cheer Squad, who've been reissuing a lot of great stuff lately. And while we're in the 90s, that's what I said. Roland, of course, Roland S. Howard, he of The Birthday Party and These Immortal Souls, with his masterpiece solo record, Teenage Snuff Film, from 99. Unbelievable record. Brian Hooper on bass, Mick Harvey on drums, and Roland just slashing and burning on the guitar and vocals. Fantastic record. Great cover, believe it or not, of White Wedding. Even a great cover of the girl group She Cried, and they both sound so unbelievably sinister. This is a brilliant record, one of the great records of the 90s, in this here man's opinion. Next, of course, it's the rules. You gotta have Mikey Young and the second Eddie Current Suppression Ring album, Primary Colors. What a great follow-up to their killer debut. I reckon this just maybe gets the edge because it's got, tracks like Memory Lane, Sunday's Coming, with the guitar is just intense in that. Which Way to Go, another cool one. I Don't Want to Play No More rounds it out with that big fat bass riff. Killer stuff. Great band. Get them all. And let's hit the dance floor with Black Cab, and I think their third, maybe fourth record, Games of the 21st Olympiad. As always, their fascination with the Germans, that's the Munich Olympics. Whole theme throughout this is when they went from being like a psych kind of band with a little electronic bits and pieces thrown in there to full-on electronic dance floor, but in like that dark Joy Division New Order way. Brilliant record. Every track's a banger. I just particularly love ones like Combat Boots, Go Slow's another banger as well, and of course Sexy Police. Brilliant record. Great go-to record for me. And my number one go-to Giz record, of course, is the great Nonagon Infinity. Still haven't topped it, although that goddamn Ice Death 8 Million Other Words title be probably my second favourite now. The one from, that they released 5 minutes ago, but they've since released in the next 10 minutes another 17 records, which are also quite good. But this is the one for me. This is like where all of that stuff which had been brewing on the records before just all came together perfectly on this one. Like, this is just absolute killer. You got like Big Fee, Wasp, Gamma Knife, Mr. Beat, which is so catchy. What's it called? The freaking Evil Death Roll. and the great weird people vultures. Yeah, great cover too, and you know, if that doesn't do it for you, what are you doing? And of course, we're going to cheat yet again for number 10 because I find myself wanted to put some newish music in there, like stuff from the last 5 to 10 years. And a lot of things I listen to, I find when I look on the back and I'm really digging it, is on the Anti-Fade label. So here's a selection of go-tos from that, which is my number 10. Of course, the great Frowning Clouds. Just got that fantastic classic 60s garage rock sound with a bit of, you know, jangly psych in there as well. You know, people in this band, like, well, basically all of these bands I'm going to show all play in each other's bands. It seems to be the way on Anti-Fade. Of course, run by the great Billy Gardner. Early Oz Mutants, those synth punks, great record, Split Personalities. Speaking of Billy Gardner, the new project called The Toads. This is fantastic. You have to check this out. This is a great indie rock record. Really cool stuff. Vintage Crop, just great straight up punk stuff. Yeah, they've got it sideways. So New Age, all their records are great. It's just got that cool, sardonic, non-affected, bored vocal with just, you know, great stay in your head riffage. Of course, Billy's Living Eyes, fantastic snotty garage punk. Constant Mongrel, one of my faves from a few years back, got a couple of records out. Kind of like a, I don't know, cross between no wave, noise, repetition, drive it into your skull awesomeness. Civic, of course, we love Civic. Classicist when it comes to that punk sound, you know, mining that Radio Birdman, Saints kind of thing. Their newie is just unbelievable, possibly my record of the year. This is one from a little while back on Anti-Fade called The New Vietnam. Awesome stuff. And lastly, we'll round it out with those great indie pop kids, Terry, with their record Call Me Terry. All their stuff's good, jangly, catchy, quite sarcastic, witty lyrics. And that's my 10 plus some. Thanks for checking it out. See you on the next one.